Hello guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we are going to talk about Zomato and its new upcoming IPO which everyone is talking about and thinking should I invest in it or not. For some, this is one of those life-changing opportunities which occur once in a decade where such a big company makes its debut on the market and creates a lot of value in the long term. And one of the looming question remains how much value appreciation can we expect from this stock over the years. In this video, we are going to discuss the prospectus issued by the Zomato and perform a fundamental analysis on the company. First, we will start with the ownership of the company and the IPO size. The authorized share capital of the company is divided into 880 crore shares of face value rupees 1. The IPO size of the company is rupees 9,350 crore rupees, which puts the valuation at rupees 66,000 crore or 8.8 billion USD. Let us start with the balance sheet first. The balance sheet size has increased almost 3 times in FY21 when compared to FY20. The equity infusion of rupees 7,643 rupees right before the IPO is something that should not go unnoticed. This is not unusual for growth companies like Zomato, but this could have some implications for the shareholders. The net worth sheet in the prospectus is interesting to note. Notice the change in valuation of the company. In January 2020, Zomato acquired the Uber Eats operations in India for rupees 2,485 crore or 330 million USD. Now focus on this valuation as this valuation is important to understand the fair valuation of Zomato. What does this Uber business means for Zomato? Well, the net worth of the Uber Eats business has increased 3 times from the January 2020 levels. And that is by how much the size of the balance sheet has increased in the last 1 year. As a part of this transaction, Uber Eats received a 9.1% stake in Zomato, which put the valuation of Zomato at US dollars $3.5 billion in January 2020. This picture shows the equity held by Uber in the Zomato, which is close to 9.1%. So my main question here is, Uber sold the business in January 2020, which was the pre-pandemic level. So the valuation must have been fair at that point. And if this business is projected to be so lucrative and successful in the future, why would Uber exit such a business? CNBC USA had a view on the valuation, and they said that Zomato is backed by Alibaba Affiliate and Financial, which recently agreed to invest up to $150 million at a pre-money valuation of $3 billion. Notice the valuation at that time was $3 billion, according to the official filings from the Zomato shareholder Info Edge. Long story short, the valuation of Zomato has increased from $3.5 billion in January 2020 to close to $8.5 billion in July 2021. What changed during the last 18 months? Did the market dynamics change so frequently in the last 18 months? That still remains a question for us. You might argue that during the pandemic times, a lot of people were not going out, rather ordering food from home. For this, we went ahead to check the financial statements, the income, and the net profits of the company to verify if the operations justify these valuation. Let's look at the P&L statement of the company. I noticed two things here. Sales numbers are down substantially from FY 2020. Other expenses is also significantly low compared to FY20 numbers. So that does not match our hypothesis which can support such valuation increase. This graphic shows the food delivery business, which is the highest contributor to the revenue, depends upon active users, frequency, and order size. So, why did the revenues fall down? The company says it happened due to the COVID lockdown. But this is surprising because during the COVID lockdown, all the digital businesses received a major push. Also, the new restaurant enrollment did not increase from 143k odds in the last 1 year. Shouldn't the lockdown have increased the number of restaurants registering on the Zomato platform? Just like other businesses like Paytm increased other merchants online to accept digital payments? There is a possibility that Zomato might have hit a plateau for restaurant enrollment. The average order size has also decreased from 400 rupees to rupees 238. Is that also a sign of worry for the shareholders of Zomato? The monthly active users has also decreased from 41.5 million to 32 million in 2021. Only 52% of these are from India and the rest comes from the global operations. We have no way to analyze if the profitability is actually coming from the India user base or from the global operations. Zomato also changed its way of recognizing revenue in October 2019, so there is no way to compare the revenues of the past years with the 21 revenue. We also looked at their P by E calculation and the industry peers that they have used to calculate the industry multiples. This section says that the industry high and low multiples have been calculated using the industry listed peers, which are stated on page number and 122. So now when I go to page number and 122, this is what I find. There are no listed companies in India whose business portfolio is comparable with that of our business and comparable to our scale of operations. This is quite understandable since there are no publicly listed companies operating in this industry, but this is not understandable why would they put such a reference in the first place. So guys, this is how the fundamental analysis of Zomato looks like, and you can now figure out how well the company is placed, how the valuations have increased from the last 1 year, and how the profitability has increased comparing to that. So do your research at your end and make the right decision while investing in Zomato IPO as well as in the company in the future.